What would you call a person who is obsessed with being normal? I am searching for a word which means someone who has an obsession with being normal, or someone who cannot bear to be different from other people, or similar. Is there any such? Context. A lives in a Western country, and always eats rice with chopsticks. His mother scolds him for not eating like a normal person. When he cries due to the rather vigorous scolding, he is again scolded for not crying properly. A suitable adjective for B?
How about conformist? From dictionary.com. Conformist, or n-fawr-mist, a person who conforms, especially unquestioningly, to the usual practices or standards of a group, society, etc. Edit. As user Bernget pointed out, you could really underline the obsessive with pathological conformist.
Normalist. A believer in or proponent of norms or normality. This URL. Your example helps a lot. You are talking about someone who is very conventional. Conventional, conforming to established practice or accepted standards, American Heritage Dictionary, 5th ed. The mother who scolds a child for not following traditional habits, when those habits are minor and have no bearing on modern life, is clinging to that tradition for dear life. She is stuck in the past, with undue reverence for convention. Scolding a loved one for not crying properly is also a controlling scold. Rather than trying to make sure that she fits in, she wants others to do so.
More colloquially, you could call the person a square as opposed to hip.
I would argue you can't be obsessed with being normal and actually be normal. To obsess over it is to be weird in itself, so given that, it will depend if this is coming from the third person or not. If you are talking about judgment from a negative third person who is in fact likely the obsessive, with being not normal, non-mainstream, unique, then they might use pretentious, sycophant, conformist, as user 1993 already suggested, towny or beta, both colloquial. A more positive third person may call them a social butterfly or amiable. But, if this were a first-person assessment of themselves, they are more likely to say plain, normal or average. However, if this really is a person obsessed with the pursuit of normal, then they will probably see themselves as a weird outsider, hence the obsession, and perhaps describe themselves that way or with the word wannabe or nobody. And in the same case, the negative third person may, incorrectly, say they are an attention seeker, incorrect as they are trying to blend in, not stand out, insecure or needy. I'm basing these suggestions just on observations over years conducting interviews and working in bars, events, and other industries, which is why they lean towards colloquial use and are not necessarily correct use of language.
If you want his book channel, please consider liking